This is the Chamber Chat Podcast, the show dedicated to chamber professionals to spark ideas and to get actionable tips and strategies to better serve your members and community. Hello, Chamber Champions. Welcome to Chamber Chat Podcast. I'm your host, Brandon Burton, and it's my goal here on the podcast to introduce you to people and ideas to better help you serve your chamber members and your community. Our episode today is different than our typical episodes. It's even, if you noticed, a different day. Usually I have new episodes release on Tuesdays. Today's Thursday, and I'm doing this because of a special announcement. Those of you who are on my email list have seen some teasers about this. Those who follow Chamber Chat Podcast on Facebook or LinkedIn have seen some teasers as well. But I wanted to take a little episode, maybe probably a shorter episode than normal, just to explain a little bit more about what this is all about, what Bring Local Back is. So first of all, after nearly 300 episodes recorded now of Chamber Chat Podcast, I've come to realize that chambers are constantly keeping their ear to the ground to recognize trends so they can remain relevant in their communities. But how often do you reflect on the impact of global technology on your local businesses and economy? More importantly, what have you done as a chamber champion and as a leader in your community to protect your local businesses and even help them thrive in this fast-paced world? So I want to just take a side note here and just announce that I have entered a partnership. I'm not quite ready yet to reveal who I've partnered with, but I will say that this partner is very plugged in with the chamber world and understands chambers, and I will be sharing and revealing that partnership here pretty soon in the next few days. The whole purpose of this episode is to share some highlights about what the Bringing Local Back platform is all about. Really, it's about the future of local commerce. So in your community, what's going to drive commerce in your community? I believe this Bringing Local Back platform is going to be the tool that you need to be able to support and strengthen those local businesses and to drive a thriving community right where you are. So first of all, I'm sure many of you listening have noticed the decline in local media resources. Whether it's a local newspaper, if you still have one, chances are they're struggling. They're having a hard time getting the ad revenue to support. They don't have the subscriberships they used to. Many newspapers have gone under altogether. Local radio, same thing. Local radio is struggling. Yellow Pages. When was the last time you saw Yellow Pages, right? Or used a Yellow Pages? So these are all kind of that traditional form of local media where your business community was able to have affordable, kind of targeted advertising to people in their community, whether it was in the newspaper or local radio or in the Yellow Pages. As we know, these things are all going away. They've gone away in some communities, and they're just very little impact in most communities these days. And they've been kind of swallowed up, and that void right now has been filled by the big 800-pound gorillas like Google and Facebook. We love these companies. We use them all the time, but are they doing damage to our local economy as well? I would argue that they are to some degree. I think they're kind of a necessary evil. We do need to have these big tech platforms, but we need to be able to know how to leverage the technology to be able to still make our business communities thrive. So this shift from the local media sources to these big tech giants, the Googles and Facebooks of the world, and even throw AI in there. AI is making big waves in the world right now. And a year from now, the impact of AI is going to look even different than it does today. But this impact is really making it harder for local businesses to get their name out and to be seen, because now instead of just competing against any competitors in the local community, depending on what type of business they are, they're often competing with other companies on a global platform, which drives costs down, which reduces their margins. And then if they're paying to advertise on Google or Facebook or any of these types of platforms, they end up being an auction for ad space. So you might be able to put in 10 cents and get $1 return, but once your competitors realize that they can put in 11 cents and get that $1 return, all of a sudden your ad spend becomes higher, and it keeps ratcheting up until you get up to 99 cents to get that $1. And all of a sudden, again, those margins are just shrunk down to nothing. It makes it really hard to earn a living and to support families and to really run a business if you can't have healthy business margins. I believe that chambers, you listening, that chambers are uniquely positioned to fill this gap. To fill this gap from local media going away and the big tech giants stepping in. Chambers are uniquely positioned to help hold the hand of businesses, to help them be successful and even thrive in this current environment. So, what is Bringing Local Back? Bringing Local Back is a platform, it's a digital platform that taps into so many resources throughout your community. Just to go through a few bullet points here of just highlighting, and as you hear this, think of maybe different segments of your membership. Maybe they're, maybe they're more retail, maybe they're tourism based, maybe they're service based. So in these different segments, you may want to focus a Bringing Local Back campaign for a certain segment. So that may make more sense a little later on. But in a nutshell, this platform is very robust. It has a whole lot of features that I'm only going to scratch the surface here in this episode, which is why on August 30th, we're doing a free webinar to dive into the details, kind of take you on a test drive to show you how the whole platform works. But from your business community perspective, the platform will enhance visibility and reach to allow them to reach more potential customers. It's a targeted marketing platform. It builds credibility and trust with these chamber members, with these businesses that participate in the Bringing Local Back platform, because it is a chamber platform. There's networking opportunities throughout it. There's localized marketing. Again, think of those local media companies that are no longer, or that have such little impact now. This is going to fill that void for localized marketing, but also SEO. So making sure that these businesses can be found online. I had recently had an interview where I had a chamber champion on who talked about a big grant that they got approved for, and they ended up spending hundreds of thousands of dollars to build out a digital platform, a digital footprint, if you will, for a certain number of businesses within their chamber. And as I heard that, I was like, oh, because I already knew that this is on its way. We're already working on this platform, and this would have saved them so much money to help their businesses be found online. The Bringing Local Back platform also has data-driven insights and competitive analysis. So reports can be sent to the business members on the platform to see what kind of traffic they're generating, what kind of engagements. Very robust as far as the data-driven insights and competitive analysis. There's a new feature that's being rolled out right now as we speak that's going to include a newsroom with RSS feeds. So if you have a blog on your chamber website, it can feed directly in to this platform. You can take white label articles throughout the community, whether your city or school district or whatnot has an announcement or a press release. You can be that go-to resource for the news, and you can lean into it as much or as little as you want to be that go-to source for news in your community. There's also community forums, and there's a fully integrated tourism kiosk. Now, all these different features, you can kind of pick and choose. You don't have to, like, for example, a tourism kiosk, if you're not a tourism focused community, you don't have to do that. It's fine. You can skip that. But again, this platform is so robust, it's gonna blow your socks off. But the end goal is to drive commerce from both inside and outside of your immediate community to support these local businesses. Now, this partner that I have for the Bringing Local Back platform has a stellar reputation in the chamber world, has really developed a strong understanding of who chambers of commerce are and what can be added to further enhance your mission and impact in your community. So why do you need this? Why do you need this Bringing Local Back platform? Number one is it enhances your relevance. So as a chamber of commerce, it's trying to stay relevant in your community. This platform elevates your role in the community, shows that you're plugged in. It's showing that you know how to connect businesses with buyers, with customers, and to really drive commerce to these members. After all, if you were to poll all of your chamber members, most of them say they join because they want that return on investment. This is a way to do that. This platform also is a seamless integration with any existing membership platforms. So this is not a new membership platform. You can use whatever platform you have, and this will work side by side with it. Now, it is set up to where if you are a small chamber who doesn't have a traditional membership platform, this can serve as a membership platform. It can for a smaller size, smaller scale chamber. So that option is there. Fantastic thing about this is it doesn't have to necessarily cost you anything. It can actually be a non-dues revenue generator. And that was important when we were talking about developing this platform, to make sure that this can be something that drives revenue to your chamber rather than just being another expense. We all know with inflation right now, expenses they're hard. I mean, there's a lot of expenses. Everybody's wanting more and more of our money. But this is set up to be a non-dues revenue generator that really is beneficial to those that participate. The other thing was ease of onboarding. So with this platform, you get your name on it. You get all the benefits and perks of being innovative and having this out in your community. But on the back end, we take care of the onboarding. So you don't have to worry about explaining to any new businesses on the platform how it works. We're going to have regular webinars that go through, and even if somebody's already been onboarded but they're wanting to learn how to get more out of the platform, regular webinars will be held to teach them how to do that. So what do we do from here? So from here, hopefully I piqued your interest a little bit, at least, to want to learn more about what the Bringing Local Back platform is all about. I've mentioned it before, but on Friday, August 30th at noon Central Time, we're having a free webinar where you'll meet my partner in this platform. We will go through the bells and whistles of the platform. But what I need you to do is to go to chamberchatpodcast.com/bringinglocalback to subscribe for this webinar. Again, chamberchatpodcast.com/bringinglocalback. We're trying to limit the webinar to about 100 seats. That way we've got adequate time and availability to do some meaningful questions and answers at the end. And at the end, with the pricing structure that we're doing with this launch, we actually only have room for about 20 chambers to get into it initially at the current pricing. So Make sure you've got one of those seats, one of the 100 seats, and pay attention, because if it's something you want to act on, you want to move quickly, since there's only a room for 20 here initially. Okay, what else? I'm a big believer that this platform can really move the needle in your community. And we're not talking about just making a little bump. We want to make some waves. We want to be able to have your chamber be the talk of the town, of people recognizing the impact, the influence that their local chamber has, and seeing that return on their investment. So again, register for the webinar, chamberchatpodcast.com/bringinglocal-back to register. I'll see you in there Friday, August 30th. And if you haven't subscribed to Chamber Chat, take a moment to subscribe in your favorite podcast app. We do have the episodes on YouTube as well. So if it's more convenient for you to have it play on YouTube in the background while you work, you can subscribe on YouTube as well. But I will look forward to seeing you on August 30th, and get your seat today. We'll talk to you later. If you are a chamber professional, please subscribe to Chamber Chat Podcast in Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, or Spotify. When you subscribe to Chamber Chat Podcast, new episodes will show up in your podcast app each week as they are released. If you're finding value in this podcast, please leave us a rating and a review in iTunes. But most importantly, please share Chamber Chat Podcast with your colleagues that are in the industry.